Tea and chat.
Chat with tea.
Tea chats.
Tea chats. I like that.
We do?
Yeah.
Tea chats?
I like tea chats better than tea and chats.
Okay, tea chats.
Tea chats. You got your teacup ready?
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
How dare you? Okay. I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Welcome to Our Life in Books, where we talk about our lives, books, and everything in between. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Samantha. And we're cousins.
Yay!
Grab some tea in your favorite mug and get cozy because this week it's all about tea chats. We're going to talk about random things and answer some listener questions. But first, what tea are we drinking?
So, I did not write it down. We are drinking our tea.
It's our tea. We designed it. It is
the one thing I didn't write down.
It's the fandom tea for Three Dark Crowns.
Right. So we're drinking the naturalist tea.
Yes, which we both are naturalists.
Yes. Okay, and I don't know how to say this first one, so bear with me.
Always spell it after you butcher the name.
Hojicha. Hojicha?
That's what we decided it is.
Anyways, so it's got that kind of tea plus blackberry, forest berries, and cinnamon.
Yes, it's so good.
So good. It's a good
You can thank Elizabeth.
Tea.
She brewed all the flavors together.
I just thought like forest berries and it is very earthy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of perfect.
And I know
for
some people are
naturalist.
reading Three Dark Crowns are getting ready to, so we're going to have to show them the ways of picking if you're a naturalist and stuff like that.
So the fourth book comes out sometime this year. I think September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to have to do like a binge read.
We're definitely going to have to. Mm-hmm. It's going to be exciting.
I can't wait.
But yeah, our tea, the link is in the description if you want to go check it out. Yep. We're going to work on some more teas, but we just didn't see any tea for like Three Dark Crowns. So we're like, listen, we love this
series. And we were really into it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
we are very into it.
We
got our pictures taken on the throne.
Oh, we did? That's right. Listen.
What were you going to say?
The series is written by Kendara Blake.
Who is so funny.
She is. She's so sarcastic.
Okay, you're never allowed to brew my tea again. I just found another piece of tea in it.
It's the tea ball. It's not me. It's the tea ball.
Earlier when we were setting up, I freaked out because I thought there was something floating like a bug in my tea.
You were acting like I poisoned you. It's just tea, man.
You're a secret poisoner.
Listen. Oh, no, I'm not. That's the most... Okay, so I think that's how book one starts out, isn't it? Like the first scene is her...
Yeah.
So beware if you're starting that series because the first scene is kind of disgusting.
Yeah, and her being tortured, which is
because she's a poisoner,
awful.
And so they have to get her body used to the poisons and immune to it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't I did not like that part.
She's sick all the time.
I feel so bad for her, but slowly don't anymore.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Okay, so what are you reading this week?
I am currently reading The Gilded Wolves by Roshini Chokshi.
We are so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. To be fair, I get called Macabre a lot, so.
Macabre?
Yeah, Samantha Macabre. That's what people say to me. So it's I don't feel bad. I mean, no one can spell my name.
My maiden name, whatever, was 3 letters long and no one could say it. So. Yule.
What they used to say.
Ool, mule.
Mule.
I
get Macabre a lot.
It's 3 letters. It's 3 letters.
Come on, guys. Yours is easy.
Smith. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I feel like it's a fake name.
And I also started Cerulean.
Yeah.
By a
person. A person
Amy
wrote that.
Ewing.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I'm just
I know that one.
Left and right.
I know that one because there was a famous basketball player, Patrick Ewing. I had his shoes when I was a kid.
Why?
Patrick Ewing shoes. I don't know. I just know I did. Instead of Jordans, I had Patrick Ewing.
How do I not remember this? What they look like?
I don't know.
Now you're going to show me a picture afterwards. I'll make her post it on her Twitter because I'm I'm wondering what these are. I just started Gilded Wolves. It's really good. It's a heist book. We opened it last live stream and we got it in Owl Crate. Mm-hmm. Then I also won a copy from Goodreads earlier. An ARC, yes. And it's really good so far. I did the Elizabeth method where I did not read the synopsis before I dove into it because sometimes I psych myself out of a book.
Yeah,
that I know I want to read, but I don't like the I don't know. I just like going into it blind and really appreciating it.
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about it on here before, but
I thought we did, but maybe we didn't.
I read the synopsis for books like when I first hear about it, and then I don't let myself read it again right before I read it because I feel like a lot of times the synopsis will tell you what's going to happen through like midway through the book, and so you're just waiting for things to happen. And you can't enjoy it.
I honestly think that's what I was doing, where I was like, well, when's this going to happen? When's this going to happen? And now I'm like just genuinely, organically enjoying this book.
Yeah, so like I recognize books, and I'm like, okay, I know I've read about what this is about before, but I'm not going to read the synopsis because it's going to ruin it for me.
Well, I love that method. I've started doing that with basically everything in my life. Oh, Netflix video. Watch this without reading about it. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that. And I started Cerulean because there was a sample on Fierce Reads.
Epic Reads.
Thank you. It was a sample on Epic Reads. I read that. It was sounded interesting. I'd never read it before. So started that. We're going to talk more about that book later.
Ooh, hey, here's a fun fact about Epic Reads. If you subscribe to their newsletter, I think, it might be some special newsletter that they do, but I think it's every week you get the first 5 chapters of new books.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was the one that they did.
And you can also go to their website and find all of them all in a row, because that's what I did when I was bored.
But I get them all the time, and I always save them, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to read these when I'm looking for something to read, but that doesn't ever happen.
Yeah, I happen to do it just because I think I didn't have a book right then. Like, I forgot my book, and I wasn't reading a Kindle, and so I was like, a Kindle book, and so I was like, oh, I'm just going to read this and see if I like it. And it was just, I'd never heard of a concept, and I get so excited when I've never read something like this before. So yeah. What are you reading?
So I'm almost done with Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I don't, listen, I'm really terrible at names.
Yeah. Just give me one of those episodes.
The book is called Eliza and Her Monsters. It is really good. I'm really loving it. So Eliza is the author of a famous webcomic. Like, everyone's reading this comic. It's super popular, but she writes the comic as Lady Constellation. So no one knows who it really is. And so she's like only a few people, like her immediate family. And then she's got a couple friends, online friends that know who she is.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of her like trying to get through high school. She's, it hasn't mentioned it outright, but I think she's got a lot of anxiety. And so she's dealing with that. And like, she doesn't have any real life friends, like real life, in the flesh people that she hangs out with. And she's just trying to get by until she can get out of high school. And then suddenly this boy is new at her school, and she finds out that he's a fan of her webcomic. And so she befriends him, and she's finally got this in the flesh person that she gets to hang out with, and he still doesn't know who she is.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really good, and you get like little snippets of the comic, like the drawings.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it a physical, or are you reading a
physical? Yeah. So this actually came in the May 2017 Owl Crate.
Oh, it's the one I missed.
Yeah, it's part of my Beat the Backlist.
Oh, nice.
It's my first book.
I guess I didn't explain what Gilded Wolves, what goes on.
You said it was a heist?
Yeah, it's a heist. Basically, I just started it, so I don't know a lot. I'm sorry. I can give you more in-depth review later, maybe next week. But it's about these houses, or like these like families. They have unique last names, and one guy, it doesn't say why, but he was like not allowed to take his spot as the heir of the last house, and he was the last heir. So the other houses abolished it, got rid of it. And so I still don't know why. So basically he is going around and he's getting all of the heirlooms that were being sold, and he's trading them for fake ones. So he's like basically like a thief stealing back his own stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. And it's just really interesting. There's a cool character in there. Can't remember her name off the top of my head. But when she touches objects, she feels like what happened with them, like gets emotions from people who left behind. So she doesn't really like to, it's basically a band of misfits. And so she doesn't like to touch anything, but she can cook because food doesn't have memories. So she's cool. She's a chef. And yeah, it's really interesting so far. But again, I don't really know that much because I didn't read the synopsis.
I've heard a lot of people compare it to Six of Crows.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm really excited to read it.
Yeah.
Someday I will get to it.
It'll be Beat the Backlist 2020.
Yes. Okay. So my other read this week.
I don't want to talk about this. Because I forgot to pre-order it. I guess I can order it now.
So it's called
I'm so excited.
Courting Darkness by Robin Lefevers. Listen, names are hard.
It'll be in the show notes, guys.
I barely started this one. I've read the first 2 chapters maybe. And of course, I don't read the synopsis before I start. So all I know is that it is a offshoot duology from her original trilogy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Called something. No, I knew it. Why did I have to start talking?
And I read the synopsis just because I wanted to buy it, and I totally forgot. And it's basically about like Death's daughters.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And well,
the cover's so cool too.
The original series, His Fair Assassin, was about nun assassins.
What?
And this is an offshoot, and I think like one of the characters from the original series is in this.
Oh.
And so from what I've gathered so far,
I've never read this author
the two main characters, whoops, I just whacked my mic, sorry. The two main characters are daughters of Death. Like Death is their father. Mm-hmm. And one of them can feel the heartbeat of people right before they die.
Ugh, yeah.
And then, so she knows who's going to die. And then the other one can only feel the heartbeat of living people. So in that kind of sounds like, okay, so anyone, like what kind of power is that? But the very first person that she encounters in the first chapter doesn't have a heartbeat. And she's like, why don't you have a heartbeat? Why can't I feel you?
Oh.
So it's interesting so far, but I'm only like 2 chapters in.
So. What new releases are there this week? I know you had a couple.
There's a ton. Okay, so the first one I wanted to talk about, which again, I don't know a whole lot about because I haven't read it yet. But it's called Vortex Visions. It's by Elise Kova. So this is another one of those where it's a offshoot series from another series. Her other series was called...
Why do you do this to yourself?
Why doesn't my brain work?
I don't have any releases, so I can't really talk right now.
I have the whole first series. I haven't read them.
Yeah, I remember because I got a magnet from her.
Oh my god,
Good
guys.
story,
I'm an idiot.
Go to the Goodreads.
I am. I'm so sorry.
I am.
Air Awakens is the first series. It's called Air Awakens. So this is a series about the main character from Air Awakens, her daughter.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
Cool.
So I don't know a lot about it, but I know that Elise Kova writes really freaking amazing books and worlds.
And it's fantasy?
It is, yes. It's YA fantasy. And I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% positive, that's available on Kindle Unlimited.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think Vortex Visions, the entire series, is available on there too. But I bought it because it was only $10 for
the whole
5 book.
Hey, that's good though.
For the
yeah,
it
is on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah. So, woohoo. Did you say you had any to talk about this week?
I said I did not, but I suck.
So the other one that I'm really excited about is On the
that's
Come
the only
Up.
one I knew about.
Yeah, it's called On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So
Angie Thomas.
It's her second book after The Hate U Give.
Yes, and if you're in our Facebook group, which why aren't you?
Right.
We're doing a poll right now to see
on Twitter.
And on Twitter to see what book, the first book we're going to read in our book club. Mm-hmm. And her book is winning by a lot.
So, but this new one is called On the Come Up, and it's about a young girl who wants to be a rapper. Mm-hmm. And she's, she's living in this neighborhood, and they don't have a lot of money, and she's just trying to do what she loves. But I don't know a lot about it because I don't want to read the synopsis
because we want to read it.
Because I want to read it.
Exactly, same.
But it looks so good.
It does look so good. And she's such an amazing human being. We got to meet her at BookCon. And she's so sweet. She sat there and talked with us and everybody around. I was like, this is cool. Right? We're out on the show floor and she's just chilling and talking to us. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she's super sweet.
She's so nice.
Can't wait.
Speaking of Kindle Unlimited, I wanted to point out, and I've never read this, so it's not really a recommendation, but The Princess Bride is on Kindle Unlimited, and I've never even watched it.
Okay.
Nothing.
Me neither.
I just know everyone loves it.
But it's huge. It's got like a cult following.
Yeah, it's like a cult classic kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's on. So I added it to my Kindle Unlimited list, out of the 10 books I can check out, and I was like, I'm going to read this because I know everyone talks about it. So I thought if everyone has either read it or watched the movie, might be interested in that. Yeah. And then I wanted to point out, bless my friend Hannah, has been sitting at the library waiting for the 7th Harry Potter audiobook. And I was like, Hannah, you can get that on Kindle Unlimited.
The audiobook?
I'm pretty sure they started releasing the audiobooks.
What?
But I want to make sure. Okay, you talk about prime reading while I
Okay,
make sure.
so I talked about prime reading a few weeks ago, and what I didn't realize then was because I thought it was like the editors of Amazon pick out a few books, they're going to be available, and then they're not, right?
Mhm.
So you have to pick, you have a small
I
selection.
spoke wrong. Sorry. It's just the Kindle book. The audio
Still,
book's on
though.
audio.
Okay, so what is it called? Amazon
Prime reading?
Prime Reading. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Prime Reading. So it's almost exactly like Kindle Unlimited.
Mhm.
I mean,
Different
it's
books.
different book selection, but it's the same concept. There's all this range of books that are free.
Mhm.
You get 10 downloads at a time. You know, it's like a what's the thing we use for the library? Like you only have it for a certain amount of time or whatever, and then you have to return the book.
Yeah. Oh, is it
Overdrive.
like that?
Sort of. I mean, I don't think you have
There's
an
no
end
time
date,
limit. You just
but
have
you have a limit, of a number of books. So I found 2 on there that I really want to read. I'm really excited about. The first one is called "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory" by Caitlin
Oh my goodness.
Doherty.
Okay.
Doherty.
Mhm.
I don't know how to say it. Anyways, so she worked at a crematory, and so the book is supposed to be like, it's like kind of memoir, but it's also like really funny. But it sounds really interesting. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine working someplace like that.
Nope.
But it sounds like she's got a really good sense of humor, and her stories are funny and
Yeah.
interesting. So that's one that I downloaded. And then the other one that I'm really excited about, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is on there.
Oh, cool.
So this is the comic that the Sabrina Netflix show is based on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to just add that right
And we
now.
do have a comic month coming up.
We do.
Graphic novel month.
Graphic
I don't
novel,
remember what month
guys.
it is,
There we go.
But it's coming up. So that's an option. And it's free if you have Prime. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So I downloaded those 2. Who knows when I'll get to them, but I'm really excited.
I can't believe the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina's on there. That's
I know.
Like,
as soon as I
amazing.
saw that, about had a heart attack.
You're like, this is what I need.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this Prime reading because, you know, I felt like I was missing out not having Kindle Unlimited.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I don't have a lot of time to read stuff.
Yeah.
But we pay for Prime, and now I've got all these other books I could read too.
Exactly. Graphic novel month is November. I wanna
Okay,
look
so we've
that
got
up.
a while.
We do. And then if a lot of you don't know, there are, you can go to your local library, get a library card, and then you can check out books on
Overdrive.
On Overdrive. There's also an app called Libby.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
I've heard a lot of good things
Me
about
too.
Libby. And Libby's got the audiobooks too.
Exactly. And so does Overdrive.
okay.
But it's just 2 different platforms. They're going to have different
I
books.
think they're owned by the same people.
I think so. I don't know the difference, but
No.
hey. But yeah, so that's what we like to do too, is check out books from the library.
Yeah,
It's always good.
I
to
finally
go
got a
over there.
library card.
Yes, you did. I'm going to go get one from Waterloo.
That's a good idea. I need to get one here in town or
Because
the town I work in.
different libraries have different books. So like
yeah, it's like a different library system.
So like let's say you know I check one out from Cedar Falls and I go to check one out and it's not available. I can go to check out one in Waterloo and it's available. So yeah, it's just I really like it.
I'm really excited because I haven't had a library card since I lived at home.
I know,
so-
and I renewed mine because I didn't know that they expired.
Whoops. Yeah, so that's what we did this weekend.
Yeah.
Library card.
We went to the library and bought a lot of books at the used bookstore.
Somebody bought a lot
I don't
of
know what
books.
happened. I blacked out and I came
Somebody
to and I
did.
was carrying this huge stack of books. I needed all of them. They all needed a home.
Well, that's true. That's fair. You didn't want to leave them.
Now I'm going to have an even bigger beat the back list.
Whoops.
Usually we like to do listener recommendations. We really didn't have any this week, but if you do have recommendations of books that we need to read, let us know
Yeah.
because I really want to add more books that I
Heck
need
yeah.
to know about because I feel like there's so many out there that people read and find genuinely like amazing and I don't know about them.
Yeah, there's just so many books coming out every single week. It's hard to keep track.
I know, and there's all these, and it probably is so hard for like an indie or upcoming author to like come out and be like, read my stuff. So
Yeah.
let us know.
Yes.
Well, our live video we opened our Paper Gang January box.
Yes, finally.
It was really fun. We did it on 3 platforms again.
Yes. And it was only like 6 minutes long. So sorry, guys.
Yes, I know we've gotten comments to do longer. We'll try to think of something else to do. We're like,
But we're also kind of on a time constraint tonight because
Yeah.
the weather sucks and Samantha lives 30 minutes away.
So we'll try to make them longer next time. If you have any suggestions of what you'd like to do, we can do like question and answers, or we can like do a fun quiz, or I don't know. We can think of fun stuff to do.
Yeah, just let us know.
Yeah.
Let us
know. Oh my goodness. I
Unplanned.
I did want to say that I And also a big fan of what Elizabeth reads. And so I bought The Dreamers by Karen Thompson Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Ordered that on Amazon. And then we also got our King of Scars book.
Oh, my God. It's
mail.
so pretty.
It's so pretty.
And I don't even know when I'm going to be able to read it because, like, my...
we're going to do a Grisha month, remember?
Yes, we are. We have to plan that. But, like, my February and March and into April is booked up as far as reading goes. So
we need to plan ahead. So yeah, basically we want to do a month where we start from the beginning and read with all of the people listening and everyone on all of our social medias. We want to like read the whole Grishaverse together.
So either we have to plan that around our book club or just make an executive decision and make that our book club choice for one of them.
But that's like a lot of books to like make people read.
Well, I mean, we're not making them read anything, to be fair. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how we're gonna. I'm a planner. I need to plan.
It can be one of the planning months, so it can be like off of the quarterly book club. Oh yeah, our book club's quarterly. So yeah, I'm really excited to read The Dreamer.
Oh, also back to the book club. The poll closes tomorrow.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this podcast is going to come out the day after it closes.
Jesus. Good planning. All right.
Twitter only lets you do a 7-day poll.
Well, the book club one's still up, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So if you want to vote, go vote on the book club.
We'll close it on Sunday officially.
Yes.
How about that?
Okay. Yes. So I have an opinion.
So, yeah. But The Hate You Give is on top. So
yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
So what book world news do you got? I've been staring at the fun stuff. Smiley face.
Oh, that's right. So let me click on it. So I'm in the
I'm like,
right.
What is it? What is it?
Okay. So you guys have heard of, now tell me if I'm saying this wrong, Samantha, because I know you heard about it before I did, but Wattpad.
Oh, yeah, Wattpad. Yeah,
I've known about it for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to explain what it is for anyone who doesn't know?
So it is a website or app that you can write stories. It's kind of where 50 Shades of Grey came from.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of other authors have started there.
Yeah, definitely. Or you can I know some authors, you know how they do 0.5 books? Sometimes they'll just write them on there and just direct people to them.
So, but the author can, post on there as often as they want and they get immediate feedback from readers. And it's just kind of a cool community for, writers.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool writers community.
And I think that's where a lot of writers do National Writing Month in November. The acronym has a NaNoWriMo. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's an acronym that means national blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. So they write every day of that month, but that's where a lot of writers do that. So anyway, the news is Wattpad is launching its own publishing division.
Oh, cool.
Which is going to be really exciting. So now these authors don't have to, hope they get noticed or acknowledged or whatever from that site. So the site, I think they said, because it's been a while since I read the article since we didn't get to podcast last week, but it says the company will use what it calls story DNA machine learning technology to take the guesswork out of the publishing equation. Why? What is wrong with me tonight? So they're going to use what do I want to say? I
don't know. I'm so sorry. Algorithm?
Yes, an algorithm.
Hey.
Oh my God. Thank you for reading my mind. So they're going to use an algorithm to kind of go through the story and figure out which ones are going to be ones that are going to stick and that readers are going to like. And I think it has a lot to do with probably the comments on it and all that stuff and the interaction with the readers.
And how much people have read it. Yeah.
But it's going to be so much nicer for authors to get seen and writers to get seen rather than just kind of, like I said, waiting for a publisher to notice them on there or pitching their stuff. And, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't hear about that.
It's going to give a lot of indie authors the opportunity to be seen.
Oh my gosh, definitely. That is really cool.
Yeah, I'm really I read that.
I've read a couple stories on there just because if it's I'm just looking for something short because a lot of them, can be short. They're they write a chapter and they're if you like it, I'll write the next chapter, which is really neat.
So if you are interested in Wattpad, there's another thing that Fierce Reads does. It's called Swoon Reads, and you can download that app. And it's a very similar thing where you read stories as the authors are kind of coming up with them and writing them, and then you get a vote for your favorites, and then Swoon Reads eventually publishes the most favorited ones.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So a lot of Fierce Read books come from Swoon Reads.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So it's
it's a lot like Wattpad.
Well, and there's a lot of places that indie authors have a chance to get their story out there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, my book world news is about the book that I just purchased. How do you say it again?
Cerulean.
Cerulean.
Who's the author? Oh, yeah. Amy Ewing. That's right.
Ewing.
That's right. Okay. So we have a lot to unpack with this.
Yes. She ran on my parade. I'm glad she told me about
really
it.
Sorry.
Because I usually don't check Goodreads ratings because some people are mean.
It's my guilty pleasure, especially to read the mean ones.
Yeah. And then also I'm doing the thing where, okay, so what happened was I saw this on Epic Reads. I think there was like 5 or 6 chapters on there. So I was like, bored at work during my lunch. I had read all of the chapters and I was like, oh, this is really an interesting concept. I've never heard of anything. I've never read anything like this. It's about people on a planet. I'm just going to be very vague until we get into it.
Sure.
People on a planet that floats and they tether to another planet to use nutrients. And once they've used up all the nutrients that the planet can spare, they leave and go to another planet. They have a sun god. And so basically,
this fantasy world.
Yeah, it's fantasy.
Maybe a little bit of sci-fi. Maybe
a little bit of sci-fi, yeah. And so this girl is choosing to sacrifice and break the tether, and she doesn't know what to do. And so that's how it is. The cover's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's what initially drew me into this book was the cover because it's so pretty.
Cerulean means blue, and so the characters have bright, vibrant blue hair, right? Yeah. So
I haven't read it, but
yeah,
yes.
So I started reading it. I haven't read past the sample because I just got it in the mail and I'm still reading other books. So I'm looking at the genres. Genres are picked by fans, right? Not the author.
I think on Goodreads, yes.
Okay. So there's very, very mixed reviews about this book. I'm looking and it's like, well, 16% is 1 star, 26% is 3 stars. So it's basically a 3-star book.
Which, a lot of... there's very few books on here that are above 4 stars.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. Because people have
So, okay, where do you want to start unpacking this? Like, I'm pretty sure even in the description...
Well, and I also, okay, you read the description. I don't want to ruin it for anybody because I'm going to try and still read it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm up in the air about it.
How far into this do you
we're going into it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, if people don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead.
Yeah. So, the description... I'm pretty sure. Well, okay. So here's the other thing that I read about it before we even get into that is that after some of the initial readers started coming out and saying like this book has issues, they changed the description on Goodreads.
Oh.
So the description used to call it a sapphic society, which is like all women and like lesbian, I guess, right? Like let me
LGBT, yeah, I think so. And they must have changed that before I found out about the book last week because I did not know about this.
Yeah, so sapphic literally means relating to lesbians or lesbianism.
Yeah, the description that we're looking at right now is the description I read. I had no,
and I'm pretty sure this is different from what it used to be.
It is, yeah, because that's what I heard. But the thing is, I didn't know anything about this until you brought it up. So.
Right. So it describes a sapphic society. So a lot of people are calling it queer baiting because once you start reading the book, you find out the main character, even though she comes from a sapphic society with no men, she becomes attracted to the first boy that she meets.
Yeah.
And so the main character doesn't end up being lesbian at all.
Okay. I just want to say what queerbaiting is in case people don't know what that is.
Sure.
It is the practice of hinting at, but then not actually depicting a same-sex romantic relationship between characters in a work of fiction, mainly in film or television or books. A potential romance may be ignored, explicitly rejected, or made fun of. So I think the issue people are having is that it does have a world where there are people, who there's no male, so it's a lesbian. But they don't ever go into it.
Right.
The only relationship they go into is the heterosexual one.
Right. So they touted the book as like this.
And see, I didn't know that. See, this is what makes me mad is like I did not know about this book until last week when I saw the cover and I was like, oh, that's really pretty and I like the sample.
Right. So, it is disappointing because you think you're getting this like diverse book and then you find out it really isn't. Like the one girl that sacrifices herself and does all this stuff ends up being secretly straight. So, okay. And aside from that, I've also heard that it's got some racist things where the society that the main character comes from, the skin is like translucent, bright white, and they're considered good. And then the people on the planet that they go down to are darker skinned and are considered bad. Which, come on.
And see, I didn't read this now. We both don't know. I'm reading it till.
To be completely honest and fair and whatever, neither one of us have read the whole book. So these are all things that we're reading online. But I don't know. I think if you're going to pick up a book, you should kind of be aware of all the stuff going on around it.
Yeah. And also, usually, like, of course, there's going to be, like, not good reviews on books.
And
there's always like that. But there's a ton on this book.
Yeah, I haven't gone over to Twitter, which is usually where things really blow up.
Okay.
But, because Twitter scares me sometimes.
I love Twitter. It's the garbage fire, and I love it.
But, yeah, so I think it's, it's got a lot of issues.
Yeah,
and so, it's unfortunate that it got as far as it did with that,
she should have never marketed it as, what is it? Sapphic. If she wouldn't have marketed it as Sapphic, I could see less issues. I could still see issues because they should, if she's going to write it like that, she should show relationships like that. Mm-hmm. It does talk about her moms and like people. Yeah, because that was the other thing I read. Isn't there like 3 moms? There's 3 moms. One's in charge of education, one's in charge of nurturing, and one's in charge of something. I'm blanking right now. Okay. And then they have different color wardrobes of like what they represent. And like she said, like some moms are together sexually and others aren't. Okay. It depends on what you are. Like if you're not a nurturer or a person who does like studies or like, the other one's like religion, I think. Okay. If you're not one of those, you can also be like a mother that does like reproduce. And I'm not exactly sure how that works because again, I only read the sample. But I think that if she would have wrote it a different way, it would be a very good book. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you just can't have the one main character who is, being sacrificed and blah, blah, blah. Because then I feel like that's also making it sound like this society of all-female, lesbian, whatever is awful because they're sacrificing the one straight girl that comes out of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that makes it sound like they're
different if it was like there's different people that felt that way. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I just don't know what she was trying to get out of it. Like, what was the point? At least if you're going to write it like that, and maybe there is a point, but if you're going to write it like that, explain it.
Yeah, and well, that's why it's hard to judge it because neither one of us have read it. We're just reading other people's
I'm guessing she didn't explain it. Well, a lot of people said they read it without knowing, and they read it, they didn't think about it. Like, they just read it and was like, oh, that's a good story. But when you think about it, it's kind of like anything that you really deep dive into. If you start thinking about it, you're like, oh, this has issues. This has big issues. Right.
So, yeah, that's our take on that. I mean, and it's not even our take. It's what we've kind of found digging into this book.
This is basically, it's kind of news right now. I'm still probably going to read it just because now I'm curious.
Well, like I said, I think it would be nice to kind of, go into it knowing all this and then kind of see what you can kind of draw from it.
So I'll report back to you guys about it. And if any of you have read it or are going to read it, like let us know your thoughts about it. I think it also matters if you're in the LGBTQ plus community, how you feel. Maybe we could reach out to some people.
To be clear, we're both cis, white, straight females.
Yep, so we are. So we can only have so far of an opinion. Right. So yeah, that's our little rant on that book.
It's just disappointing, like I said. Yeah. Between the cover and then the story, the premise of the story.
Because the premise of the story is interesting. I've never read anything like that. But if you think about it, and I didn't reading the sample, but I also haven't gotten to the point where she falls in love with the male. So, okay, I didn't know. Cut to something better. The free books that I usually find. There's one right now. It's called The Gateway Trilogy. I haven't read it, but people who are fans of like the idea of the Cassandra Clare world or like anything like that. It's by Christina Garner and it's free right now on Amazon. Ooh. And then it basically, this girl feels like an outcast and has to fight demons. So it's kind of like the Cassandra Clare books. I don't know how much, so I don't know if it's like, I don't know anything about it, but it's free. So I thought, hey, if someone wants a free book, there you go. Heck yeah. So next is viewer questions. Yes. Thank you all for asking us questions. We were kind of nervous asking people for any questions that they had. So thank you guys all for reaching out. Oh, yeah. So do you want to go first? Do you want me to? We had 4 people asked questions. Some people asked multiple, which is really nice.
Yeah. So you go first.
Okay. I'm just going to go down the list. So first is from Christy. She is awesome. She's one of our first viewers. So listeners. Listeners. Viewers, listeners.
Is it? Is she
no,
viewing
it's not.
it?
My brain. She's viewing the phone that's on, right? No. Okay. So she asked 3 questions. So we can just go through them. So I'll do... What are our bookish buzzwords?
Ooh.
And I tried not to search any of these beforehand. I tried not to pay attention because I wanted to talk.
Oh gosh. Yeah. No, I didn't either. So I'm like, wait, what do you mean bookish? So
buzzwords.
What gets you, what is it? What does it mean?
So I think either makes you buy the book or like makes you like enjoy a book. Sure. So like maybe if you're reading a review, like some buzzwords. So anything related to sci-fi I'm like, yep, I'm in.
Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like dragons, fantasy worlds, and like anything that has to do with an island.
Oh like, yeah, you do like, and you like and also like a buzzword would be like if the character is evil. You like evil characters.
I like gray area characters.
Evil characters. Gray. You're evil.
Gray area.
I'm the good. You're the bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think mine would be sci-fi. I like aliens, romance because I'm a sucker, and I also like twists. So if it says like unexpected or I really like that. Yeah.
I guess one more for me though is like thrillers.
Yeah, you like thrillers. Thrillers make my heart race, and I like it.
I love it so much.
Another question she asked was, what is a favorite book that you can read over and over again?
Okay. So aside from Harry Potter?
Yeah, I would say aside from Harry Potter because everybody can read Harry Potter over and over again.
Do you want to go first? Or?
We can go back and forth. My first one's going to be my favorite book, Perks of Being a Wallflower. Okay. I read that like 100 times.
Really?
Yeah, I love that book.
I still haven't read it.
How dare you?
Don't kill me.
Get out. Leave.
So do you read it like once a year, or do you
I read it when I'm feeling it? Okay. Yeah, because it's like I always think my favorite book is the book that if I handed it to someone, they could understand who I am.
Oh my gosh,
that's how I pin it of my favorite book. Okay, so I think of that of like all the things I've gone through and all the things I like think about, not literally, but like how the character feels vulnerable and how it feels like an outsider. Like I felt that. So I just always think like when I'm feeling that, I can feel like I'm not alone. So I really like that book. So that's my fave.
I need to read that.
You do. It's really good. The show's good. The movie's good too, but I like the book better.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else? I used to read Twilight over and over again. I haven't read Twilight over and over again. I still watch the movies. I can't help it. Yeah. It reminds me of how I read it back then. I don't want to reread it because I'm afraid I'll ruin it.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. Because when I first read Twilight, I was in love.
Elizabeth found a Facebook post. Oh my god, I should have screenshotted it. She was like, "Why can't guys be like Edward?"
Oh, who am I? That's what I texted you too. I think I took a screenshot and I was like, "Who was I? What is wrong with me?"
I was like, "You can't hide your past."
Well, I mean, I did. I tore through those books.
You did. So did I. Remember because we like.
But now I think I would ruin it because I have a nice memory of how much I loved them.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it. So, yeah. No.
Is there any books that you like read over and over again?
So, I'm not a rereader unless it's like a series and I'm trying to like. But there is one that I go back to not once a year, but once every couple of years, and it's The Hobbit.
Oh, see, I've never read The Hobbit.
I love it so much.
Is it just one book then?
Yeah.
I've never read it. I should read that.
It's like. I like The Lord of the Rings. Sure, that's great. But it's 3 books, and they're so intimidating, and they're so long, and there's so much to them. But The Hobbit is just it's such a perfect little adventure story. Aww. I love it so much. So that's my one I've reread quite a few times.
I'm trying to think. I know there's one more that I've read over again, but I can't think of it. But yeah, just anything that makes me feel something is what I read over and over again when I want to like feel that again. But I think you reread a lot when you're trying to like write reviews and stuff too.
Yeah, well, and I think The Hobbit for me was like, because I don't know, like in high school and stuff, all I read was mystery and contemporary. And I didn't think I would like fantasy. And I think maybe part of that is because I know my mom doesn't. Yeah. So I was like, I probably won't like it. And then I read The Hobbit, and that was the first one that really turned me on to fantasy. Yeah. So I think that's kind of where it's in my heart.
Yeah, I guess I've read the Vampire Diaries, the whole entire, like there's Vampire Diaries in the, or not Vampire Diaries, sorry. The Vampire Academy books.
Oh, okay.
And then they have a bunch of like offsets. I've read those a couple times just because when a book came out, I'd have to like remind myself.
See, and that's how I reread now. Is like if a new book in the series is coming out, I have to go back and reread at least the book before, if not all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Christy's final question.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, it's how do you select books for your monthly TBR?
Ooh, Elizabeth, you go. Ours are very different. Go ahead.
So I select them by obligation.
Yeah, by when they're coming out, when they're getting published, and when you have book tours.
The arcs that I've requested on NetGalley or physical arcs or blogs that I have coming up. I try, because like I said earlier, like I'm a big planner. Like I need to know when I have to have a book read, and then that's how so my February, March, and most of April is already all planned out. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I have to read like that. Otherwise, I feel like I'm like lost in the middle of a sea of books.
Yeah.
So I have to have a plan. So my plan comes from
arcs and from
physical
blog
arcs,
tours and
any kind of obligation to read.
Well, and then you also have reading challenges too.
Yes.
All of the reading challenges, because we've got
many.
Our reading challenge, our Life in Books reading challenge. We've got the Beat the Backlist reading challenge, and then we've got our own NetGalley. And that's just reviews mostly, because we're both terrible at doing that. Mm-hmm. I write my first thoughts, and then I forget to go back and actually like write a decent review.
Yep, same. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm actually proud of myself. I'm doing pretty well.
You are? How much have you gotten done?
Only a couple.
Hey, it's more than I've gotten done.
But I sat down and made myself do it the past couple of days. So there's that.
Well, so we're a little different. So Elizabeth's really organized. And I'm very sporadic. Hi. And spontaneous. So I try. I put my monthly TBR list is Samantha's going to try. And I think I got 3 done of my January one. My bad. Because I would just want to there's this girl, Mandy, currently reading, is her Instagram name, and she has a sweatshirt called Mood Reader, or Mood, or whatever.
That's what I was going to talk to you
about.
Mood
Reader? Yeah, that's me. I'm a mood reader. So, if I'm in the mood for a romance, I drop whatever mood or if I'm in a mood for fantasy, I drop whatever I'm reading, and I go read that. So that's so me. So.
And that sounds a lot like you, because, if you're reading a book and you're you like the book, but you're not really into it, you can't finish it, and you usually pick up something else and then go back.
Yes, it's whatever I'm feeling. If I'm feeling like I want to read a romance book, then I'm going to read that. Or if I'm feeling like, I want to read an adventure book, I want to read that, and I just go and pick up that book.
See, and I just force myself to read what's on my list.
I can't do that. I don't like...
And usually it's not forced, I have to slug through this book. It's I might be in a bit of a slump for a while, but... it's so hard for me to find a book I don't like.
Yeah.
So eventually I'll just tear through it.
Yeah, I think that too. I just, weirdly enough, don't like when I tell myself I have to read this. I'm I'm not going to read that. Don't tell me what to do. So
even though it's you.
Even though it's me. But yeah, I love mood reading. Okay, the next question comes from Nathan, and it is, why are you not recording these and putting them on YouTube? Okay. Well,
there's a lot of reasons.
We look like ragamuffins.
Listen.
So we were just talking about this. We're getting there. Right now, we are kind of at a makeshift studio setup. We don't have a permanent one yet.
No. So we have an extra building on our property.
It's called the Mother's Cottage.
Mother-in-law suite.
Mother-in-law suite.
So we have a house, and we have a garage, and then we have this other building. And it's a half man cave, half my crap.
Yeah.
So
girl cave, man cave.
Right. So that's where we're at. It's not the perfect setup, but it's better than nothing.
Exactly. And so we're thinking we're going to start the process of putting a permanent setup up in here. And another thing is right now, I sometimes have to edit audio blips and little issues that we have. So I think it'd be kind of difficult for me to edit both. But once we are rolling with the audio and we're rolling with the setup that we like, I am fully ready to do that.
We need a setup that's permanent. Oh my God, what is wrong with me
tonight?
Permanent, but also doesn't have a bunch of Chicago Bears crap in the background.
So we want to decorate the corner of her area with our cool reading stuff, and then have a place that we can do that. But we want to. We are going to be posting YouTube videos as soon as we can get it. As soon as the weather stops being evil.
Oh my God, it's awful.
It was raining pieces of ice today. I was like, what is this?
I know. one of the ladies I work with said it looks like salt is coming from the sky.
It did. And I had to drive in it and I was like, this is not okay. So the weather and then also just time right now. We have, you're busy, I'm busy.
Yeah, it's my busy season at work. So
my busy season's always at work, but I'm also trying to like do my blog and redo my Bookstagram. So
I'm trying to do a lot of things at once,
but
it's coming.
We have a bunch of ideas.
So many.
Yeah. And I'm just like, the first one's going to be Christmas presents. And
I think the first one's going to be Books and Forest.
Yes. Or what was it? Ads. ADS. We're weird.
Sorry.
Sometimes we put things in notes and then we don't remember what they're about. So then we're just like guessing at what they mean. But yeah, I think we have a couple. So if you have any YouTube ideas that you want us to go over, if you want us to like deep dive into a book, if you want us to like go over like, you know, the books we read that month and show the covers and show the inside.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Right?
Like that.
But first we're going to open gifts because I got Elizabeth some of my YouTube idea gifts. A gift that keeps on giving. And then, yeah, we got some other ideas. I'm going to put our vlogs up from our book con and all that stuff.
Oh,
so be looking for those. I'll kind of post about them.
You know what you should put up is our very first vlog. Working for Grandpa on the farm.
Oh my gosh, I will find. Don't you tempt me? Because if you tempt me, I will go find that. I can digitize
I want to watch it. And also, I mean, it's our first vlog.
Yeah, okay, I'll go find that. I actually will go find that.
We are ridiculous.
Yeah, we worked in very, very big quotation marks for our grandfather.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah, but you're looking.
We watered the trees and we fed the horses.
That was awful. I'm never
cats
having trees again.
And the birds.
Okay, we fed the horses, aka I was afraid of them. I don't like horses.
They were terrifying. They're huge.
Yeah,
and they were not tame at all.
I like the cats.
Yeah,
and we had to dig like a garden. Yeah, we digress. So that's one of our first vlogs. So yeah.
So YouTube is coming.
Yes,
Stay
YouTube's
tuned.
coming. It'll
Have
be fun. We do live things. I think we're gonna do maybe some other live stuff where it's like she's live and I'm live and we're live together when we can't get together. So yeah, look for that stuff. But YouTube videos are coming because I'm gonna she's never gonna get her Christmas presents. It's gonna be her birthday. I'll be like, here are these Christmas presents. The next questions are from Hannah.
Yep.
Do you ever reread books? If so, which one? So that's kind of like the same question. Yeah. So yeah, basically we reread books when we
like
are reading
super
a series.
favorites or yeah.
Yeah, I would say reread a series.
Otherwise, I just feel like I don't have time to reread.
Yeah.
Like as much as I would like to reread some books.
How about
like,
what are some books you would love to reread? Let's reinform this.
Okay, so I would love to experience a lot of books for the first time again.
If
so
I could wipe my memory.
The Grisha trilogy. Like, I'm really excited to go read those books again with you, but I wish I could experience them again for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I fell in love so much with the world that she creates.
Yeah.
That I know, like, when I go back to it, it's going to feel like coming home, but it's not going to be
the
that
same.
first
Like Delaney
experience.
Taylor. I really had, like, an experience with her. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, those ones also. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe in a couple of years I'll reread them because then it'll kind of feel like it's again, like it'll feel familiar, but it'll feel like the first time.
Martina McCatney's series,
Yes.
Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. I'm going to reread it. I really want to reread it. That's one of those books that like, there's so many characters, there's so much going on and things that you don't realize that are happening. It's such a good series.
And they feel like old friends.
Yes.
So when you go back to it, it's going to be like.
And I love that. I love intricate books because when you read, it's like I'm a rereader and a rewatcher very badly of books and movies because I miss things.
Yeah.
So I love rereading and be like, oh my God, I didn't realize that at all.
Those are my favorite books is when I get to the end and I'm like, I want to start that over.
Yeah.
Same with movies. Anytime I get to the end of a movie and I feel like I want to start it over, I was like, that was
when
a good
they like
movie.
show the plot end and you're like, wait, I have to go back. One of them that I just randomly, this is off topic, but I watched A Simple Favor and I know it's a book.
Oh,
it's
I don't
with
think I've heard of that.
It's with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick.
Oh,
and it's a book apparently. I didn't know that. I wish I would know because I would have read it before I watched the movie. But I watched the movie and it was good. But at the end, I was like, crap, I need to go rewatch that. Like I didn't catch any of that. It was like at the end, it was like I don't know. It was like a mystery, but like she's like a YouTube girl who like a woman who does like recipes.
Oh, is it funny?
It's funny, but it's like dark humor.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really interesting. I think we should watch together. But yeah, so I digress. But yeah, I really wish I could reread some of the fantasy, even Cassandra Clare books. I really like the clock work series.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I wish I could reread that again.
Infernal Devices.
Yes, Infernal Devices. Hannah said she read, try not to do spoilers. She read the part where someone is dying.
Oh, no.
At work. So she started crying at work during her lunch break.
You didn't warn her.
I know. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, another question from Hannah is, other than the number of books, do you have any 2019 reading goals?
So, let's see. Number and our different challenges.
Yeah, I would like to, I want to actually complete all of the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, with our reading challenge, it'll get us out of our comfort zone. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Well, and I'm always trying to make the conscious decision too, like when I'm requesting arcs and stuff, like pick diverse books. Pick books that aren't the same old crap you're always going to read.
Yeah.
With the same old characters and, so that was my goal last year, was to read more diversely. And I think I did a fairly decent job, but I'm still trying to do that this year too.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
I like that.
Yeah, so we're doing Beat the Backlist.
Yes.
And our reading challenge.
Yes.
Which this month, the theme is romance. So read a romance book.
Yes. It's going to be
even
so hard
you
for me.
boys who don't want to do it.
It's going to be very hard for me to read a romance. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Oh my God.
I actually haven't even, I don't think I've picked one though, because I'm like, which one? Which one am I going to read?
I think I've got 2 on my list this month that could qualify. So
get out. Just kidding.
How dare you?
And then her last question is, what do you do when you're reading a book you don't like?
Yikes.
You ran into this. We talked about it on a podcast. I'm a stubborn. I put it down. I'm like, listen, if I'm not feeling it, maybe I'll feel it. But if it's like, it depends. If it's poorly written.
Yeah, it depends
you remember
on what
that
the
book?
problem is.
Do you remember that book we were in that book club with?
Oh my God.
It was
I couldn't get into it.
I don't remember the author or the title, but it was so poorly written that
it was just so confusing. Like 1 second they're doing this and then the next it's like a day later and you're like, wait, what?
Like I just remember the one part where she was like, the author was like, oh, they got into a fight. And she came up and hit him. And now they're in a forest. And I was like, wait, but why did the person hit him? Like,
right.
And then like she said, like she was like, her grammar was off. She would call certain things plural and then start calling them singular, even though she was talking still about the group. And it was very confusing. And people, I think, were just too nice to tell her that it wasn't very good. So I just stopped
she was in
reading
the group.
Yeah, it's so hard to be like,
you can't be in a book club with the author.
Yeah, you can't. It's just too
because then no one can have a dissenting opinion.
No, so I just never said anything. So I stopped reading. Did you finish it?
No.
Okay.
So if it's a grammatical or like a reading issue, like you can't get into the writing style or something like that, I think that's when I definitely put it down. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like 2 years ago. When did I start Bookstagram? Almost 3 years ago now.
Wow.
Anyways, at that point, I had never DNF'd a book. Did not finish a book. I had never done that because I was like, I haven't come across a book that I don't like enough. And I'm still at that point. Like almost all books have some redeeming quality I can push through and at least give it a 3-star or something like that because it entertained me enough to keep going.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know. Now I'm also like, I have so many books to read. If it's not catching my attention and I'm halfway through, like I can't keep giving it time.
Yeah.
Because it's going to put me in a slump.
Yeah. And I've never been like, except for that one book, I've never been like, I'm never reading this. I have 2 that I've stopped series just because I couldn't get into them. And I'm like, they're still on my bookshelf. I'm still giving them, like, I can probably read it. It's the Aragon series.
Okay.
And it's the Marked series. Mm-hmm. And the Marked series is just for younger. And the first part, and I know they do this with young adult, sometimes preteen, is that they recap what happened and then the story and it ends on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, okay, but I just, there's so many books and I just want to get it there. So I just kind of, there's nothing pulling me to it anymore. So I kind of just stopped, but it's still there. I'm not going to give up. But yeah, I would say just put it down and come back to it later.
Yeah, like, especially if you are feeling like you don't want to read because you know what you have to read is something you don't want to read, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't put yourself through that.
You might not be in the right mood to read it, or you might never pick it up. But
and it's fine if a book isn't for you.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I read a book once where everything happened really, really quickly. And that's why I just realized that I'm not a big fan of that writing style. I like to care about the characters. I liked in-depth details. But it wasn't a bad story. That's the only thing I said. I think I gave it a 4.5, and I just said, just give me more. I want more details. Like your story, the entire, like, from beginning, middle, end was great, but you just you didn't give me anything to care about. So when a character died, I didn't care because you didn't give me enough to care about.
Yeah, those are hard
them.
for me. I mean, I still read them, and I'm
story-driven
plots too, but I like to care about the characters.
I do too. I just learned that about myself. I'm like, dang.
What was I going to... Oh, so I actually just wrote a blog post about a book that I stopped reading today. No, I didn't stop reading it today. I wrote
the podcast before.
The blog post today. Yeah, so that's the Where Girl series. It started out great, and then she tried to do too much.
Yes.
It was just like,
oh my God,
she just kept throwing things into it, and you're like, okay, like I get a girl turning into a wolf is not realistic, but so much of this what you're throwing in is just so far-fetched. Like what?
And she would drop off characters and not explain what's going on.
Yeah, they're just completely gone, and you're like, well, what happened to them? Like you made me love this character, and now they're gone.
And she had interest, and all of a sudden she lost them.
And spoiler alert, sorry, but so book 3. She's at her dad's. Did you get that far where she's her dad is running this pseudo scientific lab, and he owns all this forest area, and there's cameras everywhere, everywhere throughout the forest. And then she throws in this band of misfit kids that live in this forest full of cameras, but no one knows that they're there. And I was like, that was where I was done. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
you have so much going on. And isn't Nessa in high school?
Yeah.
What happened to all of her classes?
I thought she wanted to go to college. That was the main thing. And now she doesn't anymore?
Yeah.
This is confusing.
I think it was when the kids came in, this group of kids living in a forest full of cameras that no one knows about. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, I just thought of another one. I don't remember the title, but I remember telling you about it. It was about, I was the first book was about a girl who got a girl's mom.
Weren't you reading him when we went to BookCon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I gave up because I was like, okay. And I told you about it. I was like, this makes no freaking sense. The first book was about, I don't remember, her and this guy, and her mom got kidnapped, and then she got kidnapped, and they wanted her blood for something, and then they blew up the mental institution that they were all locked in. And then the next book was about her going on a road trip with this guy and his band, and no mention of anything of what happened. It was very confusing, and I was you're doing too much right now.
If you want to write these stories, great, please write them, but can it be a new book?
Yeah,
a new series?
Because the thing is, your character is still the same character, so they're going to remember what happened. So why, if that just happened to me, you should be traumatized. You should be not going off and doing reckless things, and not mentioning anything about anything. It's just very confusing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another one that I was
So yeah, I feel our trigger things for as far as books go is when authors try and do too much.
Yes.
That's where it's I can't.
Or if they just did not get an editor.
Yeah.
That's another one of me. If it's published in a physical book and there's a bunch of errors, it's come on.
At least it takes you out of the story. When you run across a grammatical error like that, it takes you right out of the story, and you can't focus on what's going on because you're worried about correcting every word.
Exactly. And our last question comes from Jackie, and she asks, do either of you have a mug collection hoarding problems? I've noticed that this is a trend in tea and book lovers, and the answer is no. We don't. We definitely don't
Mind your business, Jackie.
We definitely don't buy mugs all the time. And then we also have special mugs on our bookshelves that we don't drink out of.
True story. Listen, so just the other day, because my husband has a real problem with this mug collection.
Oh my God,
that I have going
so does
on.
my boyfriend, yeah.
And he had the mugs in the cupboard, and he had a couple of them stacked on other ones. And I was like, will you stop doing this? Not only can I barely reach the mug shelf, but this is going to fall out and break.
Yeah.
Come on. And he's like, well, good. It'll break, and then we can throw it away. And I was like, no, you don't understand.
I love all my mugs. And now I've gotten the thing where I get seasonal mugs from Home Goods.
Oh, yeah. Well... You have to use a different one all the time. You can't use the same one.
Exactly. I have all these fun ones. And then we have these special ones. Life. We have the special ones from Kara Kozik. I think that's how you say her name.
Kara Kozik?
Kara Kozik. Her Harry Potter mugs. And then I've got
well, you can't drink out of those because they're one of a kind.
Exactly. Riddle's Tea Shop. Got those mugs. Don't want to drink out of those.
No. So, they're special.
Yeah. I'm getting real excited about these mugs. They're special. And then, I have a bunch of mugs. And then I have a mug hanger. And I love all of my mugs. And David once was like, get rid of them. And I pulled out the mug that he has, and I was like, I can get rid of this one.
I mean, there are a few that I don't use as much because I've got like more fun ones now.
Yeah.
But
The thing I do is I take the mugs that aren't fun anymore, and then I take them to work. And I had one that said Shopaholic, and the curator, he listens, Nick, he was carrying around drinking coffee out of it. It made me laugh because it was like Shopaholic and has like cute shoes on it.
So I can't take mugs to work because we have like work mugs with our work logo on them.
Mhm.
And when I wasn't drinking out of the work mugs, everyone got offended. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I just have fun ones.
I want to be fun. Fun?
Plus your mugs are too tiny.
Oh, yeah.
I need a giant mug for my tea.
Just
What
get
do you
two.
want? There you go.
So no, we don't have hard mugs.
We don't
know
have a
what
mug
you're talking about.
problem.
We should do like a mug selfie and like take a picture of all of our mugs.
Or like a what is it called? Like a tour through our mugs.
Yes, tour through our mugs. That could be a live thing.
Yeah. Because I've seen people do like bookshelf tours. So we could do that with.
Oh, we should.
Mug shelves.
And we should do an enamel pin one too.
Oh my God. Do I really want to get them all out and lay them out and
You don't have them out?
no.
I have them
I have them stashed in different places. I'm a squirrel.
You are I'm a squirrel.
I am a squirrel. What do you
I
want?
have everything laid out so I can view the things that I'm not
one
touching.
of those like pin things.
That's another YouTube.
Oh, that's right. We're gonna make one.
Yes, we're gonna make one. No, right? I'm
Stay
scared.
tuned for that.
Can't wait for the person who is very, very not patient over here to try and make something.
The people who are like really good at crafting are gonna be watching and be like, "What are you doing?"
I'm not wrong. Here's to like showcase how we are. Elizabeth measures all of her food when she's cooking. I just
I
throw
do.
things in and say and taste it and see if it tastes good. That's the kind of people we are.
Oh. Yeah, you're right.
We
I do
can't cook
measure.
together. Remember,
No.
it was at like Christmas. We were like,
I'm
you're
like,
no.
what are you doing?
I'm like, just testing. Let's just throw these
Stop
spaces
this.
in.
Is that gonna be okay? Is that gonna taste good?
And I was like, we'll figure it out.
No.
Well,
How
thank
dare
you
you.
guys for your questions. This was
Yeah.
fun.
So if you have any questions, like in the future, send
Yeah.
them to us. Email, Facebook,
Definitely.
Instagram, all the things.
All of the things. And we'll do another tea chats where we can do this
Yeah,
again.
because I think that's fun. Well, we're not done chatting though.
No, we're not. I just wanted to thank everybody. Okay. So do you want me to do my fun thing or your fun
Yes,
thing?
you do your fun thing.
I don't remember
because
what
I
it
haven't got to peek yet. So tell me your fun thing.
I put no peeking. So I was bored and I found on readitforward.com they have a 2019 literary horoscopes.
Ooh.
So it'll be in the show notes. So you can like look at your horoscope and see what it is. So I will read yours quick.
So does it tell you what to read? Or
Yeah, it says like what you should read.
Oh my goodness.
And it was weird because I kind of skimmed through mine and it was like spot on. It was crazy.
What?
So you are
I am.
Aries.
Yes, I am.
What is an Aries? I'm a goat.
It's a ram.
Oh my God, we're a goat and a ram. I'm a
That's
Capricorn.
weird. But also it's like a fire whatever. And I've never felt like I was really that fiery, but yeah.
You just called yourself a squirrel.
Squirrels are fiery? So am
They're
I a squirrel or
crazy.
am I a ram?
Squirrel.
Which
ram.
is it?
Okay.
That sounds terrifying. Terrifying.
Aries, you love new adventures, and 2019 is the perfect year to have them.
Ooh.
Almost everyone will be getting the travel bug with Jupiter in Sagittarius this year. But you're the most likely sign to actually pick up and visit some faraway places.
In a book, you mean?
Yeah. Start with, oh geez.
Oh no.
Lay apart the delights and disasters of making my Paris home by David
Ooh.
Leobovitz. Sorry, I'm birching all of that. For some inspiration. The only challenge you might be taking some time off work. You've been putting in some impressive hours over the past year, and it's important for you to maintain the effort. All your hard work is sure to pay off in the next 2 years or so. You may even get some recognition for your efforts in the upcoming months.
That is exactly what my fortune said.
Really?
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Your all your hard work is going to pay off.
Yeah. Carry a copy of Jen Cinero's motivational collection of exercises and reflections. You are a badass every day to keep you going. Doesn't that sound cool?
Yes.
This could be your transformative year for your vocation. Oh my goodness.
What? It's
Yes.
going to be a big year.
You're bound to be busy right from the start of the year, which for you is always better than stagnant. But don't forget to take care of yourself. Instagram
Oh.
star Mari Andrews' illustrated journey about adulthood and Am I There Yet? Will make you laugh and help you unwind. In March, Mercury retrograde will prompt you to dream and imagine. Sink into Magic for Beginners by Kelly Link during the Dream
Ooh.
Month.
I like that.
Yes. You're going to have to write all these down, but I'm
I
going to check them out.
know.
At the spring equinox, around the time your birthday, relationships begin to take center stage. The Proposal by Jasmine Gilroy, which was...
That's already on my TBR.
Yeah, will be a good companion as the romantic stories of your own life play out.
Married, but you know.
You guys could have romantic stories. If you're not traveling to foreign countries this summer, you may be traveling via armchair. After all, these are literary horoscopes. The chances are good you'll go back to school or expand your mind through learning by other means. Read something purely out of pursuit of knowledge, like Yuval Noah Harari's thoughtful essay collection, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. In July, oh my God, there's so much to read. July, long. I didn't realize it was this long. July, 2 ellipses and a bunch of retrogrades may have you feeling nostalgic. Perhaps the simulation you need to be gleaned from a trip home. Catherine Harrison's memoir, On Sunset, could be the summer vacation read you're looking for.
Ooh.
This fall, you get back to work. Your focus may shift to some more immediate practical concerns. The School of Greatness by professional football player turned business coach, podcaster, speaker Lewis Howells could inspire you to live your best life. I feel like that's something your husband will read.
Yep.
As we roll into winter with Jupiter reaching the top of your chart on December 2nd, it's another reminder that you're creating a legacy. Michelle Obama's memoir, Becoming will give you something to think about as you head into 2020.
I really want to read that one too.
I was going to say, I saw yours. Okay, are you going to read mine? Or
yes, that's what I was going to read.
Thank you, Jesus.
You are
a
Capricorn?
That. Yes.
Okay.
You hooker.
Listen, I can't talk tonight, so this is going to be real interesting.
Did you just hear me butcher yours? I'm so sorry, everybody. I was reading out of the side of my eye.
Okay. So you are a Capricorn. Capricorn, your hard work last year may put you in a position of power this year. So we're both going to be powerful this year.
What's up?
You're becoming a force to reckon with. Read Jane Sharon DeHart's moving biography of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ooh, that's a big one.
To inspire you as we ring in the new year. A solar eclipse in your sign is part of a year-long cycle of focus on you and your relationships with significant others. As your hard work pays off, it affects your close friends and partners too. Read Jojo Moyes' novel, The Peacock Emporium, at the beginning of the year to remind you that success is always best when shared. Yeah, we like
Jojo
Me
Moyes.
Before You.
Yes.
This is a year to have faith because Jupiter in Sagittarius is working behind the scenes to protect you while you do some inner work. If They Come for Us by poet Fatima Askahar might put you in the quiet mindset you need. With the themes of Sagittarius in the background, this means you're on a spiritual journey through foreign territory. In mythology, heroes journey through adventures to learn about themselves. Read Astrid Scholte's adventurous mystery, Four Dead Queens.
Right? I told you.
Oh, I'm so jealous. To explore this type of story. Competition, journaling, and reading will help you figure out some important things for yourself. Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, and I've also just started journaling.
Did I say competition? Again. I meant contemplation.
Yeah, I just started journaling again, so.
Good.
I was like, that is so crazy.
Perfect. This March, Uranus moves into Taurus for a 7-year cycle of inspiring your creativity. This is a sign to do something fun. You've been working hard enough. Sign up for a dance class, take piano lessons, or break out your paintbrush because you're about to do some innovative things.
Ooh.
Srinivas Rayos, an audience of one, may inspire you this spring. Plus, The Gifted School by Bruce Holsinger is worth reading for the pure pleasure of it. In July, another series of eclipses and a Mercury retrograde will have you focus on a significant friend or partner. You're working out some major things about your style of relating to each other. Lot, Brian Washington's story of love and trust in a Houston community is a great summer read to fit this theme. By September, you'll feel like things are steadily moving along. When winter comes back around, try reading Emily Bernard's collection of personal essays about race, Black is the Body. You might even want to form a book club and talk about it with some friends.
I did actually want to read that too.
On September 2nd, when Jupiter moves into your sign, you'll be starting a very lucky year. 2019 could set you up for major success in 2020.
Yes!
Yeah, it's going to be a
those
big
are long,
year for us.
I was going to say, everyone should go down and look at your literary horoscope.
Yeah, that's fun.
Right?
I like that a lot. How'd you find that?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Scouring the internet. So what's yours? I see some I'm not supposed to see.
So it says need. So Book Riot does a lot of like merch for different stuff.
Okay.
And most of the time it's like unlicensed, like they do their own sayings on shirts and totes and all that stuff. But they also have a Harry Potter line.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really exciting.
Yes.
But now they have a Six of Crows line.
What?
Yes.
I'm clicking on the link now.
I want that first shirt. It's like a relaxed fit t-shirt.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that looks like you.
And I want the tote. And
the tote's so cute. I like the baseball tee. That's cute.
Oh, my God. Isn't it awesome?
That's
like
awesome.
You can't. It's not like you can find a lot of Six of Crows stuff. But
No.
now that the Netflix adaptation is coming out,
I feel like everyone's going to have it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So I saw that, I don't know, sometime last week.
Right.
And I was like, I need it.
I'm going to buy some. I saw you also put some. I want to talk about this next. The Sarah Hunt.
Okay. So
I saw on Twitter. That's all.
Yeah. So I've talked about Small Town Murder and Crime and Sports.
Oh, is this what it's from?
So 2 of my favorite podcasts. So the one of the guys who does it, the one who does all the research, his name is James Patrick Gallo.
Okay.
His wife is Sarah Hunt.
And do they do a podcast together?
They do, and that's the P.S. I Hate This Movie.
Okay. Oh my gosh, she's hilarious.
Yeah. So
I don't know names.
She had on her Twitter and on her Instagram that she was looking for book bloggers to read her book.
We should read it.
And I commented on it. Like I wasn't, gonna ask because, there's other people. But I commented on it and I was like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. And she messaged me right away and was like, can I send you my book? And I was like, oh my God, yes.
Way to not get it for the podcast. Now I have to go reach out for myself.
She's following our podcast now. She's following our podcast. And I about had a heart attack. Like I'm sitting there fangirling because I'm messaging her.
I love her. I don't know. I don't really listen to the other ones, but I love P.S.
I hate this movie.
I love it because I'm like, I agree.
She's so funny. And then when they went on tour and Nicole and I went to go see them, we were really hoping she was coming with them because she goes with them on tour sometimes, but she wasn't. So anyways, I was really excited. She's sending me her book. It's supposed to get here Friday.
How dare you? No, I'm going to go reach out.
Her book is called Small Potatoes, Mouth-Watering Musings of a Misanthrope. And it just sounds like she's so hilarious. So I cannot wait to read it. So like I said, I was fangirling big time because I was like, not only is Sarah Hunt
this talking is why you're supposed to tell me stuff, Elizabeth.
I couldn't tell you. I want to talk about it on the podcast.
You could have been like, hey, let's get it. Hey, can Our Life in Books get it? So I could have had one and I didn't reach out.
She's following our podcast now.
Hi, Sarah.
I don't know if she listens, but she follows it.
I love your podcast.
Right? I hope they come back. I mean, I know that they're probably both very busy.
Yeah, they're definitely very busy.
But I love it.
Yeah, you guys should go listen to it. It's hilarious. I think it's on all platforms. But yeah, it's funny. Okay. I'm going to reach out to her because you're rude.
Suck it. Hey, we got tagged on Twitter.
I did. I didn't know who that was. I'm awkward. Hi.
Click it.
I was just like watching. I was like,
you creep.
We are, okay, at the last episode, we realized that we're addicted to Reddit.
Yep.
So I sent you something on Reddit, and I told you not to look.
I didn't look.
It has nothing to do with anything, but I was like watching. It's like one of those satisfying things, like on how we got into like the soap cutting on Instagram.
Yes.
It's another thing where this guy, I think it's guy, I shouldn't assume, this person builds those little like houses. Like little like we saw like the one at the tea shop, models, and there's like a tea shop one, and there's like a modern house.
Build one so bad.
I watched it. It's the most relaxing, interesting thing. And then I went to the YouTube channel and just started watching all of them because it's just so interesting how he does it. That's why I sent it to you. You need to watch because the first one it was the modern house, and then I went to his YouTube channel. I had to scour those Reddit comments to find it. But I can't remember. Oh shoot, I should probably shout it out since I'm talking about it. But yeah, it was so interesting to see like how he just takes models and he's so they are so careful with how they do it.
I want to do one of those so bad. I almost ordered one once, but then
Tiny Little Things is the YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. But it's so cute. But I want to get the tea shop too. But he has another.
There's a bookshop one too.
Well, he does a tea shop one. It's really cute. And I saw he did like a carousel one. He did a modern house. And he did like a farmhouse.
I think that was one of the things I was going to get you for Christmas, and then they're sold out.
Wow. We should get one though when it comes out. We should do YouTube channel idea.
You do.
We won't be as good as him. It'll be a lot of angry.
We have to get our own. Each get our own.
We have to get each.
We're not building it together.
No.
I will kill you.
We don't share. So yeah, that was the Reddit thing. So you're gonna have to watch it. It's really interesting. Everyone else has to go watch it and understand how it's so interesting.
I love tiny things anyway. I've always
when
loved
they make the tiny food
things.
When they make the tiny food and then you feed it to the hamster. Oh my god! That's
I've never seen that. I've never seen them feed it to a hamster.
It's the cutest thing ever.
I always even like set it up on a table in the little mini kitchen,
and then they have a little hamster.
Shut up!
Are you kidding me? Jenna Marbles did this. We are watching. This is what we're doing. We're gonna watch this after this. Yeah, they make the tiny food that's actually edible, and then they feed it to the hamster. The hamster eats it, puts its little cheeks.
You're ridiculous.
I go into so many black holes. I'm like, come out. I'm like, I need a hamster.
No.
So I can cook it little food.
No. So you can cook it?
Little food. I can go get little food.
So you can cook
like
it.
Little spaghetti.
You can cook the hamster?
Ew. No.
I'm so sorry.
I want a dwarf hamster.
No thanks.
But they don't live
too much
very
like
long,
mice.
and I get too attached to things.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love mice. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is the thing that we've both been like having an obsession
So
with.
yeah, I turned you onto it.
It's all your fault.
I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry at all.
So how did you find out about it?
So this is... How far back do you want me to start?
Oh my god.
So Alex and I
was
found...
born on.
No. So Alex and I found this show called Lore.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay. So that's on... I think it's on Amazon.
Prime. Mm-hmm.
And it's based on a podcast called
Yes.
Lore.
Yes.
So I started listening to the podcast because we only liked season 1. Once season 2 started, they changed it completely and I did not like it.
Uh-huh.
But what I read was the podcast is... Season 1 is a lot like the podcast. I was like, okay, well, I'll like that. So I started listening to that and it is really good.
I'll listen to that.
But then, like, I think he either mentions it or it's one of those things like Apple Podcast tells you, like, you may also like this.
Uh-huh.
And it was the black tapes. And I was like,
Ooh.
okay, wait. I know I've heard of this before, but I don't know what it is.
Never heard of it.
And I just kind of, like, read the first couple lines of the synopsis. And I was like, just like books, like, I was going to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting.
It's so good.
It's a docudrama.
Yeah, so it's not real, even though we
Right.
both thought it was real when we both started.
It had me go on for a couple episodes. And I was like,
Same.
everyone kind of sounds scripted.
Yeah. And I thought, I edit our audio. No audio is this good all the time. There's no
But
way.
it's so good. So the premise is her name's Alex Reagan, and she plans on doing a podcast about people and their like odd jobs.
Yes.
And so she starts off talking to paranormal investigators, and she comes across Dr. Richard Strand.
Yes.
And he is known as a paranormal investigator that does not believe in the paranormal.
Mm-hmm. He went to college for it.
Yeah,
like,
and he's got an
his own
institute
Mhm.
that will give anyone $1 million if they can prove that paranormal stuff exists.
Yes.
So she finds him, and he's super interesting, and then she finds out he's got like all of his solved cases sitting on the shelf, but then he's also got another shelf full of black VHS cases that are the unsolved cases.
Yes,
and
things that he can't prove yet. So
Right.
they turned this whole podcast into like looking into these black tapes, and then it just like kind of
she deep dives into it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's huge. It's insane.
And there's so many stories, and like I like about it is that they like refresh your memory on these
Mhm.
stories. But I honestly did think it was real for the first little bit, and then they played this like evil sound, and neither of us.
It's called the
listened to it.
unsound?
The unsound, and because they were like, if you don't want to hear it, fast forward. I was like, fast forward.
Well, because
I'm not taking chances.
I think it's before they even play it, they tell you like the myth is that once you listen to this, you die within a year.
Yes.
And so when you messaged me and asked if I listened to it, and I was like, I'm super embarrassed, but I skipped ahead and didn't listen to it. And you're like, neither did I. I was like, okay, I don't feel so bad.
I was like, I'm not taking any chances. I'm skipping forward. Right? I'm not going to listen to that.
I was listening to it when I was getting ready in the morning, and like the kids were in the other room, and I was like, as much as I don't believe in this stuff, I'm not taking any chances.
Exactly. I was
Especially
like,
not with my
nope,
children.
Nope. If you're gonna give me a chance and I'll listen to it, nope, we're not gonna listen to it.
But it reminded me of things like The Ring. Like you watch the
Yeah.
thing and then you die within so many days. And I don't know. I might go back and listen. No, I won't. I don't know.
Not
Because
doing
throughout it, they kind of play like little snippets of
Yeah,
the
but you're supposed to
unsound.
hear the whole thing or something. Like
Yeah.
that.
So
I'm not doing it. You
yeah,
can do
nope.
it.
I skipped that.
You can let us all know what it is.
I don't know.
So yeah, if you like paranormal, kind of that kind of scary,
Mhm.
then you'll really like this.
It's
very
just so interesting. And so I got to the end. I finished it.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
And her producer, Nick, started his own podcast that's
Mhm.
very similar. It's called Tannis. And so that's what I'm listening to now.
Yeah. We're going to listen to all the podcasts.
So interesting. And because then there's another one that they talk about called Rabbits
Mm-hmm.
that's also like paranormal-y, but also like this girl, her friend went missing. And so she's kind of investigating what happened to her.
Yeah.
Sounds so interesting.
Yeah, I was like, that's the only thing about the black tapes is they go into one story, but like obviously like it's being told like a real podcast, so people like don't want to talk. And I was like, but I want to know. But I want to know.
Mhm. It's just so,
Does
I don't
it-
know. It's one of those, like, it feels like you're watching a show or something.
Yeah.
But you can do it while you're working, which is kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. When I can just do something mindless, I'm like, yes, put it in. And it's like, it's so good.
I did find myself, though, like, repeating episodes because I was like, I didn't listen to any of that because I was working.
So yeah, go check that out. If you have any other podcasts that we need to listen to that are like that, I am very interested because once we run out, what are we going to do?
Like I said, Lore. So there's Lore, and that's Aaron Mahnke. There's a ton of episodes, and then he started 2 other podcasts that are similar but about slightly different subjects. And I think one is called Aaron Mahnke's Curiosities or Cabinet of Curiosity, something. And then there's another one, I can't think of it. But he's got 3 different podcasts that are all kind of like paranormal.
Is Lore about paranormal then too?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Sort of. I mean, some of it. It's very interesting. He talks about like historical stuff and like the way that certain like myths have changed over time.
Oh, yeah.
It's so interesting.
It's so good. I can't wait. That sounds really good. I cannot wait to finish the lactates though. Yes.
Woohoo.
All right. Well, we're done with, I think we got all the chats out of us for the day.
We're going to need to do these like once a month.
Yes, because we had a lot to talk about that don't like usually are in like some of our podcast.
Yeah. All
right. Well, we better get going. Got more tea to drink and books to read. You can find us on our social medias, Our Life in Books _ on Instagram.
And Twitter.
And ourlifeinbooks@gmail.com if you want to email us.
We're also on Facebook.
Yes.
And we have a Facebook group you have to join.
Yes.
Because it's fun.
Join us.
Please.
Okay, thanks. That's where we do most of our like posting and talking and showing pictures and interacting and doing fun name games. I don't know. It's really fun. Come join us. All the links that we talked about are going to be down in the description. My social media is Bookish State of Mind on Instagram, Samantha McCombs on Twitter, and SamanthaMcCombs.com is my blog.
You can find me at Bookish Connoisseur on Instagram. BookishConnoisseur.com is my blog. And then on Twitter, I am Bookish Buff. Because Bookish Connoisseur doesn't fit.
And I'm on Bookish State of Mind. She's Bookish Connoisseur on Facebook, too. We have like little Facebook pages that we sometimes post our blogs and everything all together at once.
Yep.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Hopefully, as long as the weather holds out.
Yes.
Cross your fingers.
Think of us in this Iowa tundra. The what is it? Polar vortex. All right. Bye.
Bye.